Hello, 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 hello. Oh, I sound so fine. How about you, sir?
I sound good too.
I sound so awesome. I think we are set. We can commence the show, and I'm not keeping this. So goodbye, motherfucker.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes. But you know, party. Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
What's up, everyone? This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is going to be the real episode 113 of GG's The Mouthful podcast.
GG! Why do I gotta be so loud? I probably should tone it down.
No, that's fine.
Hi, people.
We can edit
This
you.
is Dream Twister, and you're listening to The Delicious Dish.
Delicious Dish.
Is the name of our podcast now?
We're changing it to the smooth sounds of Delicious Dish.
On PBS.
That voice, of course, is Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister.
Hello.
And to his right is no one, because Krista is still not back from her vacation. But shout out to Shadow 24/7. We miss you, girl.
And you can stop complaining about not having Shadow anymore, all right?
For real.
Because it's going to be like that for a while.
Yeah,
all right?
just handle it. It is what it is, and we're gonna.
She's on active duty right now.
Yes.
So
She's in Austin, Texas.
She's in Austin, Texas.
Attending South by Southwest.
yes,
And none of that, what I just said, is true.
representing the GG
At an event that's not happening right now.
No, exactly. Doesn't South by Southwest happen in California?
No, it happens in Austin every
In
year.
Austin?
Texas.
Oh, I'm thinking of Burning Man. They blur.
Burning Man?
Yeah, do you know Burning Man? Dude, it's like freaking Woodstock for like tech companies.
Oh my god!
And every time it's and it's kind of like Woodstock.
Really? People
Well, with
smoked
tech
out
people,
and everything.
yeah. I mean, I should know. I was there.
That could be good for the the pieces of hardware that
No,
are just collecting smoke and
I
shit.
think that's the point. I think they literally burned this
man?
No, it's supposed to be like a muñeco. You know that it's
Oh, okay.
like a straw man, basically, like a huge one.
That sounds
Anyway,
like
I
what they
thought
do
it's
in
fun.
England.
Is that it? Did they have Burning
They
Man?
have was it England? No. Yeah. The one with the
You think about PAX?
no.
Patsy.
Yes, they burn people there too. No. What is it? Remember the 5th of November.
Oh my God! Yeah.
That one.
Wait, is that a real thing?
That yes.
No.
Yes, that is
The
a
V
real
from Vendetta thing is a real thing.
Not the V for Vendetta part.
No, but-
clearly that's not real.
No, of
I'm talking
course.
about the guy who delivered the barrels and basically
Guy Fawkes? The guy from the
there was
Anonymous?
a guy. Maybe that's not his real name, but there is a celebration they do once a year where they do that. They burned because that's exactly because
Get out.
he was an attempt to blow up the parliament. And
Get out. Just like the movie V from Vendetta.
Yes, I know. That's what
This
I'm saying.
podcast got like hyped up to 11. If we're quoting from the holy book of V from Vendetta, the holy movie.
Oh my god, the Holy Movie,
From Hollywood.
which is a great movie. Let's be real.
Oh, that movie was
the movie is
fantastic. Are
great.
you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
All right, so I'm looking it up right now because I'm pretty sure. In the break, I will look it up and we'll confirm that.
You will instruct
Yes,
what the V stands for.
Well, it stands for vivacious.
visionary, vivacious,
Voluptuous,
vindication.
visionary. Okay.
VVVVV, like that game.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everybody. More importantly, go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. That takes you right to our premier Facebook group. We love having you on board. What we normally do is we go through what we've been doing, go through some news items, and then go into our hot topic of the week. Hot topic this week is crossplay.
It's time, bro.
It's time for crossplay.
It is time for crossplay.
I
I want to play with my Xbox brethren
Me too.
and my Nintendo Knights.
Nintendo Knights, nice.
My PlayStation homies.
PS homies.
PS homies.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. But more on that later, guys. So we're going to start off with what we've been up to. Mr. David Santos, what have you been up to, sir?
Dude, first of all, I'm going to tell you the most recent amazing thing that happened.
Uh-oh.
And you know what it is, but I'm going to tell it to you like you don't know.
Oh, okay.
So that people will know. So I was selling I was selling my the computer case that I have on my computer that for last year, since last year, and nobody's been interested. So I just kept it there collecting dust, and then it occurred to me I should put an offer up, and I did, and I got a couple of people tell me, but it didn't pan out. So then I get this dude that tells me he's interested, but he can't pay for it until next Friday. And I'm like, well, okay, but if I get a better offer, I'm gonna sell it. You understand? And he's like, oh, I understand. And we left it at that. The person was surprisingly nice and gracious. I said that because usually what you get on this offer ups and this things or eBay and stuff like that, not always, but it's usually the low baller, or the person that is like, they talk to you kind of rudely, and this person was like very nice. I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I completely blanked out until, yesterday he contacted me. Hey, we still off for tomorrow? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I'll be off from work after this time. Completely not remembering that we had the podcast. This morning, I was like, oh, shoot, I got the podcast tonight. So if I'm going to meet this person, I got to do it sooner. Maybe I'll tell Nando to come with me because I'm a big chicken. And what if they try to... what if suddenly I get, I don't want to get
abducted and taken off somewhere.
Exactly. No, yeah. No, yeah. Well, if I'm lucky. So
on a good day.
So I text him, hey man, I have a podcast to do, and at 8. So can you come in at 7? The guy is like, oh, you got the DG's the Mouthful podcast tonight? I'm like, whoa. Either this went really awesome because that means that we are extending, we are reaching new audience.
Yeah.
Or this person is like super creepy and he saw the picture and he did a Google map, a Google image search, and probably saw that it was the same picture that I have on my Facebook profile and followed the rabbit hole.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So I started getting a little bit nervous, but at the same thing, he said, hey, I'm a friend of Chakra, and we have met. I'm a friend of Chakra, and I'm like, you're a friend of Chakra? Then double the price. Double the price you get to pay.
Chakra, that pirate.
Exactly. the offer up king, as everybody should know.
Most definitely
know him. He was my inspiration. So anyway, he told me I think his name is Danny, but he said he knows Chakra. And I'm like, I immediately, as I was talking with him, and by the way, that if you're listening to this is what really happened, all right? This is the lowdown. I'm immediately texting Chakra at the same time, dude, do you know Danny? or is this guy like playing with me? Is this like some sort of sophisticated, super sophisticated method of, because what I'm selling is so valuable.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
It has hidden diamonds in it.
Exactly.
So
these are rare goods.
These are rare goods. It's what's inside that case,
exactly.
like what you really want. The
no
case
idea.
is just the front.
Exactly.
So anyway, so he's like, I know him, and then he texts me, I know like 3 Dannys, and I'm like, well, damn it, that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me at all. And he keeps mentioning. I'm like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to be like, oh, you are Danny so-and-so. So I think I put just to test. And again, Danny, I know you're listening. I put, oh, you're Danny Santana, right? There's no Danny Santana.
No,
there's no Danny Santana. Because I was asking, are you on the group? Yeah, we went to the get-togethers like a couple times. he's like, oh, Danny Santana. No, Serrano. It was freaking Danny Serrano.
Yeah.
It was freaking Danny Serrano from our group.
Yes.
Super cool guy from the. I love that cat since the very first day that I met him because he's like super humble, super cool. You know, he's like a chakra part two.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like you know those type of guys that you immediately you they just
click.
They're just like click. You're like cool people.
Yeah.
You know, cool people are cool. So I could not be happier that he got to be. He is now the owner of the case. Of my case.
It's within the GG family.
It is within the GG family, so it is staying. Yeah, exactly. It's there. So I told him now you got to post pictures of your setup. It's gonna be my cool. So yeah. So at that point, I already trusted him with my everything. I gave my phone numbers. Like, just let me know when you're nearby. Here's my address. And he came in. We had a good time. We spent a good time with him. We were talking, eating pizza with him, catching up. Yeah. And he inspected the goods, and of course, like I told you, the secret things that were inside.
The secret compartment is
exactly.
Safe,
which we cannot disclose
on air.
Yeah. So yeah, big shout out,
to
and all my love to Soyatsu, you know, aka Danny Serrano from the group. He appears every now and then. He says he's a very, very busy person.
He is.
He's a very busy man.
Very good.
So, but you see him every now and then, and whenever you're playing, like I was playing, he was teaching me a lot of the things with Destiny. That day that I was trying to do the raid for the first time, he was super patient with me, which that tells you a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You gotta be. Anyway, so yeah, so that was a cool mark,
a cool moment, yeah.
a cool moment of this week. So this week I've been playing a couple games.
Okay.
I paused Prey for a little bit because I was not having fun or anything like that, but it's just that game is too like there's a lot. There's a moment for that game, and it was not intense. Is not the word, but it was a little overwhelming.
Okay.
So I kind of had to put a stop on it, and also the shooting on that game is terrible. It's not fun at all. That's the only part. But the rest of it is. So you kind of want to know what happened. So I'll probably go back to it. I say I will, but now I'm thinking I'll probably. No, but that's my intention. Yeah. Maybe. I took a hard left detour into playing more Far Cry 5.
Whoa.
I've been playing Far Cry 5 for the last few days, like clockwork, like nonstop. I think I've put about anywhere from 12 to 15 hours already. That game is not great.
Nice.
That game is, I mean, graphically, yes, it's good. That engine is capable of doing some beautiful side. I'm playing it on PC. It's just the AI, it's still dumb. And when you're trying to recreate the real world, it's like these people are not reacting in any way at all. Yeah. Like you could hit. I think I accidentally shot a companion that was helping me out that was riding shotgun in the car, and I was trying to hit another person that I was chasing, and I accidentally pointed the gun on the temple of my companion, and I killed her.
Jesus.
And so I had to stop and revive her, and she stands up and like nothing happened, and be like, I hope you shoot better than you drive, or I hope you drive better than you shoot. It's a joke. I'm working on my people skills. It's like, I know that line, like she says it like
too many times.
Way too many times. It's worse than arrow on the knee.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking to this particular character. You have different companions, but this is the one that I'm taking. She's a sniper. So I'm taking her on missions. So
it's quiet.
She is not quiet at all. She is very talkative. Yeah, she is very talkative. It's a shame because it's a cool character, but he keeps talking, repeating the same lines, and I'm like, shut up already. So the AI is terrible in the game. I think it's probably the worst I've seen.
From the Far Cry series?
From the Far Cry series,
wow.
Yeah. And I think it's because they're trying to do so much with it that, like, I don't know. There's really no excuse. It shouldn't be that bad. Also, it has some like ridiculous points. You are constantly like you are liberating these areas, right? As you're doing missions and side missions, there's a bar filling up. When you get to a certain checkpoint, they say, "Oh, this guy is pissed off. He has sent his hunters after you." And dude, there's no way of escaping that I know of. Evidently, even if you kill everyone that tries to, even if you get on a point where you know that they're not going to come from behind you and you have line of sight shots and you can kill them all, it always does the same stupid shit where a bliss bullet, which is what they call this tranquilizer kind of things, a bliss bullet.
Oh, yeah. Takes you down.
And then you're captured. This has happened already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 times. 5 times I have been captured.
I've actually seen the actual
what happened?
The event, the
event, yeah. So it happens 3 times, or I think. So far, that's what it looks like. It will happen 3 times per area. So I'm already being captured 5 times, and I'm looking for the other ones that are left. It pretty much stops you from playing like that. You can't do anything. It just jumps into this lengthy, boring expositional cutscene. Unreal, because I mean, if I'm giving you so much shit, you should not be giving me all this crap. You should be killing me right there and then.
The time for monologue
but no,
is past.
No. And all of them do it. And they're not even that good of characters, They're not even that good of characters. And I think the fact that this is supposed to be happening in like some like obscure area of Montana, it doesn't help it. Because we know the country. Because we know our country.
Yeah.
We know that it doesn't matter how probably like out there in the boonies something like that could happen. If there are the amount of murders and atrocities that are happening, in this game, the military will be there in no time.
Yeah,
if it was,
they will step in.
If it had to be that with that level of bad, but no, you have free range to kill whoever, and you see some of the exposition very disturbing. Some of the stuff they're saying, and just for shock value, not for this is actually messed up. But it goes line in line with the theme of the game, No, just like shocking for the sake of being like shocking. Or disgusting, but it goes nowhere. It doesn't have a point of some of the stories that happen don't have a point, or what they tell. So far, there hasn't been anything that you see that is too graphic or crazy. It's just what they tell you. Like this lady will talk about how she lost her parents, and then you hear the story, and like you're almost fucking scarred for life. You're like, whoa, wow. That is like high level. Somebody with a sick mind, wrote this, but it doesn't go anywhere because the game itself, I don't feel like it has any teeth. I don't feel like it. The first time we saw it, in our highly volatile political environment that we live in nowadays, we thought that, well, you know what? Maybe political and religious. This could bring a strong storytelling commentary. This could be something that could be useful, or I don't know if useful is the right word,
at least
but
interesting.
It could actually have people thinking, about society
Open
nowadays.
Up the conversation.
Exactly. None of that. They treat the whole thing like if it was an amusement park, and it is so. It comes out feeling very flat, very boring. Far Cry has probably one of my favorite villains, and I'm ashamed to say that I didn't play this game for completion, but Far Cry 3, that character Voss, he was amazing. And maybe it was that he was like the first of his kind or whatever, but he was Like really, like dude, I was scared of that dude when I was seeing him in trailers. You know, when he goes, do you know the definition of insanity?
Yeah.
And he starts talking about the definition of insanity, and he'll be repeating it all again. So you know that he's the fucking crazy person. Oh my god, he was super cool. This character has none of that charisma.
Nothing.
No. But it's fun shooting things. So I'm like there.
So it's a mindless third person.
It's
shooter,
very, very mindless. Yeah, it is very like shut your brain down. Don't even worry about the story, dude. And you know how I am with story. I always want to pay attention to see what happens, even if it's the most ridiculous. On this ones, I could not care less. Like they will show the close-ups of the faces that they're talking to me, and I'm like, is he supposed to be talking on my face, or is he supposed to like, dude, I don't care. I'm gonna escape. None of the things that you're doing here I care about, because I know that I'm gonna escape this one with little to no effort. Sometimes no effort at all. Like you don't have to do anything. You just you wake up from the cutscene and you're the only survivor of whatever happened. You don't know what happened, but you're there. You're alive. Well, great. You are you're a big dumbass. You left me alive. So yeah, that's freaking Far Cry 3. I mean Far Cry 5. Sorry, Far Cry 5. I'm trying to remember what was the other game that I recently. Another Ubisoft join. This one is not out yet. This was a beta that I was playing. The Crew 2.
Oh, how is that?
Pretty fucking terrible.
Oh my god! Is it because it's like broken and early?
No. Honestly, as far as I can see, there's a complete game. There is a game. I mean, they're gonna release.
So this was a beta. This was stuff. This was just almost like a advertisement beta.
Yeah. This was an advertisement beta where you're like, okay, you have the racing on cars, and the racing on boats, and the racing on planes, and the other racing on cars. Kind of like just to test out, but
the mechanics,
the driving mechanics. I don't know if this, because I never played the original, the Crew. But after having played racing games and being a big fan of games like Forza Horizon and Forza and even Gran Turismo and you know those racing games, going to this one, I realized they're going for the arcade, but they don't even nail that right. The feeling is all messed up. These cars, or the fuel that they let you drive, they feel heavy when they don't need to be, and unwieldy. The physics is like they're a joke. Like you could hit something at like 100 miles per hour. You hit a wall, nothing happens to the car. It just does that bump, and that stops you. Yeah. And then you continue like nothing. Or if you miss a jump, if you land the wrong way, you just land like a piece of like a block. You know, it doesn't have any of the weight that you will expect to have on a car. Maybe like the mechanics. MotorStorm. Yeah. You remember MotorStorm, right?
Yeah.
Those cars felt heavy. Oh, that game would have been so awesome at 60 frames per second. But that was a good. Those cars felt really good. Mm-hmm. So no, this one, and I thought that the mechanic. I like the mechanic of, oh, you are racing, and it doesn't matter what part you are. If you get to this area, now you get to transition into a motorboat, for example, or a plane. Sometimes like generally enough, like it's almost like your car is a transformer or something, even though you don't see a transforming, animation. So you're just there, which I was like, okay, that's cool. Another thing I don't like is the idea of it. Apparently, is you are this group of people that are trying to gain like followers and stuff like that in social media. Oh. So they contract this. What appears to be a marketing firm.
Yeah,
and he's setting up the events for you. But the guy, it sounds like a freaking corporate prick. It is really. It's like the not that I expect. The the dialogue on
be
on a racing games to be fantastic. I'm not I'm not expecting like great acting or anything like that, but it's just like he makes me angry just from not even 3 seconds after I put the game, because they're already talking like to me like, oh man, this guy's a scumbag. Really. So I tried for a little bit. The controllers were messy to try to set up. I was trying to, first of all, I don't know who programmed the settings of the control as they are, but that person should be fired. I'm sorry. That was the worst gaming setup. Like, I'm going to show you a controller over here, and you're going to help me describe it. So you got the trigger, which is
the right trigger, the gas.
The right trigger for gas and the left trigger to brake. You have the shifter is actually on the bumpers. So if you have
to let go of the gas.
In order to shift.
Which yeah, you can argue that you have to kind of take your foot off the gas,
but you kind of also had to learn how to do that, right? On a racing game that is supposed to be arcadey, when I could just be hitting buttons on the side as my controllers, and that's really not what it is. I had to be pretending that I have an invisible clutch in order to throw the and when you're in an intense race, that kind of messes you up big time. And the game defaults to automatic, but I don't like driving automatic on racing games because it's kind of boring. It's like kind of pointless. So if you do automatic, then you'll be doing fine. But even with that, it just feels like your car is more like gliding than really being hit.
Yeah, there's no challenge behind it either.
There's even the plane actually, which I thought it was going to be cool to be like almost reminiscent of Pilot Wings or something like that. And no, it feels it feels very, very stiff. Very, I don't know. It was like I was interested when I saw that game, but after playing the beta, I'm like, nope. I think I'm done.
Passing.
I think I'm passing the Crew 2, and after passing on the Crew 1. So anyway, that's I believe, I think that was another game, but I must not be made. For Honor. I played a little bit more of For Honor. Okay. That game's all right. That game's good. Man, I
still hanging in there.
Without noticing, I dedicate this week to Ubisoft.
You sure did.
Yeah.
It looks like that advertisement must have worked, huh?
And now I get the check.
Yeah.
After the stellar review that I gave for the Crew 2.
And Far Cry.
Yeah. To be fair, this is not a review or anything like that. This is just my impressions of the beta. So don't be surprised. Maybe I missed something. And maybe if I would have given it more time, I would have gotten used to it.
You can't really review the beta.
But it was kind of messed up.
Final game may be different. So. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. What I've done, I'm just going to really quickly go over a movie I saw. I saw Deadpool 2.
Oh, snap. Finally.
And
wait a minute. What'd you think?
I liked it. Right. I gave it, I basically, if I have to give it a number, I'd give it like a 7.5, which, it's good. And
that sounds right. That's about as much as I would have given. I didn't feel like
I like the first one better.
Me too. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I didn't feel like it was better than the first one.
Yeah. I did like Domino. I thought she was a cool character.
She was a cool character. Yeah.
Cable was actually pretty cool too. Yeah. That was kind of it. You know what I mean? I got kind of excited from the trailer with the whole X-Force thing, and then it doesn't really pan out the way I wanted it to. That said,
there was some funny references. That I think I enjoyed the end, the past the credits.
The ending credits. Those were pretty good.
Those were pretty good. Actually, you saw those were pretty good.
Well done and well thought out.
Yes.
And my hat's off to Fox for allowing it to happen. So I'm just saying.
I know, right?
So, but no, so I enjoyed it. My main complaint with a lot of comedies nowadays is that they have these weird moments where they decide to just spend a little too much time on one joke. And it just overextended. It's not as bad as like some of these Melissa McCarthy movies. And I like Melissa McCarthy, don't get me wrong, but usually the director or writer or whatever it is the one who wants this. Yeah. And it's not my kind of comedy. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to the quick wit. Yeah. One line, move on to the next thing, and it's just funnier to me.
Bang, bang, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Quick bit. Thank you, Luis.
So yeah, overall I still enjoyed it. But no, I did play some games. I went to my PC and
What?
oh snap! Yep.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
For the record, I was so excited.
I thought I was going to go. For the record, I was so bored.
No, I was so excited for Cyberpunk 2077 that I started saying, I need some Cyberpunk right now. You know
what
what
better game then? I know which one you're going to say.
So you do know what I'm going to say, but it's going to lead to something even funnier.
Oh, wow.
So Shadowrun, I played Shadowrun Returns, right? I think it's the
I think that Shadow shit. I need to know now.
it's Shadowrun.
It's the new Shadow, not the Nintendo, the NES, the Super NES one, which is an excellent game, mind you. Let's see,
Shadowrun Returns. Yeah, that's the one.
that's right.
So I played that and I enjoyed it. It's a isometric type of game. It's very good. It's got its cyberpunky feel, futuristic, corporations.
It makes Cyberpunk and XCOM.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's basically your XCOM cyberpunk world.
Yeah.
Play a little bit of that. Didn't grasp me, kind of like it did in the first time. You know what I mean?
It's a slow. Yeah. It's a slow game.
It's definitely a kind of game. You know what I mean?
A visual novel almost in some cases. However, the story does look interesting. I was following it. It was interesting. But go ahead.
Speaking of visual novels,
oh boy,
this is not a visual novel, but it could almost be. So I went on to GOG and I bought the Red Strings Club, which is it is a Devolver Digital joint.
Of course.
It is also Cyberpunk. So it takes place. You're gonna look it up. You should probably find it there because it should be on. He's looking on Steam.
There's a Steam sale going on right now, so there's probably what is it called again?
It's called the Red Strings Club, and so essentially it is a side-scrolling type of game, but there is no action so far. I'm still interested in it. There's no action so far. It's really mostly a story, and it takes place in this again cyberpunk type of world. It's a pixelated type of thing.
It has that look of like action, like what they call those not Telltale, but the other one, the LucasArts point and click adventures.
Correct. It
has like Full Throttle, the original Full Throttle.
Yeah, it has this look of that. However,
out of this world. Oh my god, that looks awesome.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm enjoying it. You see that right there. There's like almost like a timeline. Decisions you make adjust based on the timeline.
There you go. That's your another joint right there.
And the music is awesome. Again, it has the neon cyberpunk feel to it.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at just right now of it.
It's actually pretty good. I'm enjoying it. So the main part of, I guess, at the beginning of the story is there's this piano player at the Red String Club, and then there's a Red String Club owner. They're talking somewhere out of nowhere. This cyborg walks in and basically passes out in front of them. He jacks into her to find out what happened. It turns out this corporation has developed this new thing that a lot of people have had implants put in, and now there's a soon to be a law where it's mandatory for people to put in certain implants. And they find out, or this cyborg has found out in a way, that the reason they made it mandatory is because there is a project set to come out where it will allow you to control certain emotions of people, so it becomes. So
this is the government.
Yeah, cyberpunk is always about businesses because the businesses are what
the mega corporations.
Correct, mega corporations are running the world at that point. Yeah. So this is so that's essentially the beginning of the story. It's funny, and this is not really a spoiler, but I'm playing as the owner of the club, and a friend of his walks in, and they wanted to meet. And they're talking, and she happens to be the one who's heading up the project. And so you have to talk to her in a certain way. You have to make drinks as well, which is really cool. You have to make drinks so that it touches a certain emotion, and based on that emotion, you can sort of
Game.
coerce some of the information out of them. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. And so anyway, the funny thing about it was I'm coming at it like, this is wrong. What the hell's wrong with you? Whatever. She said the way it's written, this is where the beauty of the game comes in. The way it's written, after our conversation, I was almost like, you know what, you're right. That sounds like that sounds like the best plan in the world.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
you know what? It turns out the purge kind of makes sense.
Kind of makes sense, yeah. So it's written that way. It's written really, really well. It is text heavy.
Yeah.
So do know that there's no action from what I've seen so far. It's just
which is fine. I mean, there are games that are
it's more
to the moon.
Is
That there's also Cyberpunk? No, it's not Cyberpunk at all.
Yeah.
But it's that type of game that there's no like combat per se or anything like that. It's just, hey, we're gonna tell you a story, a really cool one, and there's gonna be an interactive element to it. But
correct, yeah. But here, I don't know how long it's supposed to be. I played it for a good 2-3 hours, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it didn't scratch the Cyberpunk itch.
That's okay.
that I have.
That's okay. Let me tell you what I have behind the curtain over here. This is the game for you.
Oh boy.
This is sir, I'm telling you, you have touched on some points that have, like, I don't want to interrupt you or anything like that. So I'm going like, because there is the perfect game for this. And not surprisingly, I recommended it to you once, but you kind of like,
if you're going to show me To the Moon again.
No, I'm not going to show you To the Moon. Although you should play To the Moon.
I have that. Yeah.
Yeah, you should definitely play To the Moon. It's so good. No, but it is called
Shadowrun the First. Oh.
It has the worst name. It's supposed to be pronounced Valhalla.
Yeah, actually, I was actually going to buy that.
VA-11 Hall A Cyberpunk bartender action.
Yes, I actually saw that. Remember, I was looking for something cyberpunkish, and I stumbled upon this one.
It does not get more cyberpunky than this, and you get to be a bartender.
I'm already a bartender.
Yeah, well, there you go. You should be. And look at the reviews.
To be fair,
read me those reviews. What does it say? Recent reviews. This is
I can't see. Overwhelmingly
positive,
okay.
and which means.
I have
grab this for $10.04. You know what?
I have seen this, and I watched some gameplay, and I do my homework.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the Red Strings Club won out.
No. That yeah. I have no doubt. This is a completely different thing. No. I'm just saying, hey.
It did catch my eye, and it was like when I was looking through the Cyberpunk, I was down to like two or three games, and that was one of them. And you know what threw me off?
What?
I was like, this stupid ass name.
I know that's the
like,
problem.
The hell with this damn game. That's way too pretentious with this stupid shit.
I don't think, like, I was just looking for it right now, and I typed Valhalla, a Cyberpunk banter, and I couldn't find anything. I had to literally type VA-11 Hall A
instead of Valhalla.
Instead of Valhalla. But the game looks like it is mostly text. It's just one screen apparently, and you're serving drinks and finding out the stories of these people. Yeah, that looks kind of anime-ish.
It's very anime. Yeah,
don't let it fool you.
If you don't get it from the name, I don't know what else to tell you.
Dude, I need to get this. Oh, winner of the.
Did that say 30 frames per second?
Listen, there was and God rest his soul. There used to be there was a curator that will actually let you know, put it like a warning label. Hey, just so you know, this game is capped at 30.
And then, of course, you look at the game, you're like, why would it be any higher than that?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Exactly. All you see is like menus and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, look this up because this looks very odd and very interesting, especially if you're looking for something completely different. Yeah.
So, speaking of different.
Oh, God.
I went to something that's not so different.
Speaking of different, this is more the same.
So, on my Cyberpunk hunt.
Wow. Okay. This freaking Cyberpunk messed you up.
Dude, you don't understand how desperate I am to see more and play this game. I have 100% faith in CD Projekt Red, and I love Cyber. I'm like one of the. I remember I was telling you all the books I started downloading. I was like, I just need Cyberpunk in my life right now.
Wow. I didn't know it was this deep. I mean, yes. If it got you playing PC games, I guess
what does
it's
that
a problem.
Say? Yeah, that says something, right?
That says everything.
So
Jesus.
I ended up playing, and I had actually already got this through a PS Plus. It was one of the free games. Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Oh my god! And not only it has you playing PC games, but it also has you playing several games at once.
Yeah.
That
I
is
played several.
breaking all the
different-
walls.
I know, yeah. It's just like I just wanted something. And the funny thing is, I'm a little upset at myself right now because I want to return to all of these. Well, maybe not Shadowrun, but although Shadowrun's good, I'm not saying it's not good. It's just a different kind of. It wasn't the fix. It was.
No, it didn't scratch the itch.
It didn't scratch the. Exactly. Yeah. I gotta say, Deus Ex is kind of scratching that because it is pretty. It's pretty tight.
Which
Mankind Divided. That's the very last one.
Oh, okay,
that they did.
Okay.
Which was perfect because the first thing I asked myself, I was like, man, I don't know if I need to play the first or not the first one, but the first of the rebooted one.
Oh yeah.
And you don't, dude. 12 minutes at the very beginning, it gives you the entire story in cinematic. I was like, damn, this is how this is what you should do with every game, but that way you don't have to start with the old ones.
Yeah.
So it filled me in on everything. Story's pretty intricate. I mean, if you know Cyberpunk, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's corporations. It's in here they call them augments, where your body parts are being switched out. That's not always a requisite of Cyberpunk, but lately it's been a bigger portion of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's essentially what I started playing. And if you know that game,
I know the first. I wanted to play. I owned the first one, and several times I started it, but it was another one of those heavy games, just like Prey, basically, where it's like, yes, this is in no way criticizing the game is bad or anything like that. It's good. It's just I'm not in that mindset yet.
This requires you to be, because there's a lot of information that gets given. Now, that said, it still has some silly moments. I'm meeting with somebody at a train station. It's supposed to be a secretive meeting. She drops something. I go to help her pick it up and say, we say the ridiculous word that we know who each other is. And then we're walking and we're talking about secrets out in the open in the thing. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? You know what I mean? So stupid shit like that doesn't make much sense. It would I would have appreciated some shit like what do you call it? Not Shadow. Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell, where they're talking in their mind?
Correct, yeah, because they have the internal comms device in their head. They basically talk to each other via Bluetooth, never having to move each other's mouths.
That's an excellent idea. They don't even have to do the lip sync anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It's I mean, what they do, they do. But so anyway, I am enjoying it. The shooting is a little... There's something weird about it. And then I found...
On this type of games, there always is.
Yeah. Something just odd about it. I'm going through ammo more, and I'm like, damn it, I know... You know what I'm saying? Because I'm it just doesn't feel like it's the aim is there. Then I find out one of the augments later on is, you can augment yourself to have a steadier aim. I'm like, come on, man. Why would that not already be there? You know what I mean?
I'm not supposed to be this like super cop or anything like that, and I can't aim.
It doesn't.
Now
those type of things don't make sense to me. Now there's some other augments that I'm like, that's pretty cool. And the another part is it has this thing where you can't. I don't know if it goes later on, but. You're not able to augment everything. If you augment something, you overcharge yourself. You have to let go of something else.
Oh, so it has like a budget.
Yeah,
almost.
Exactly. Exactly. It has 100% of your operating system because he's basically all 100% of your operating system is being put right now to what you have. Yeah. And if you put something else, it puts you over, and that can obviously mess everything up.
That's kind of cool. Like Near Automata had that where you were like equipping and customizing yourself through these chips. But there was limited memory space that you could put it as not to overpower you.
Correct. Yeah.
But one of the things I remember from the first game that I did not like was that the game seemed to penalize you for taking the run and gun, go crazy. You almost were obligated to do stealth or not get enough experience to. I mean, probably not the problem, but it felt like that. It felt like that.
I haven't seen. I tend to go for stealth anyway. I was stealthing in Wolfenstein. That's what I do. I'm one of those weird guys that, I know I can run and gun. I know probably
more
be
realistic,
funner, but I'm not, if this is me and I'm actually in this situation, I'm not going to run and gun. I'm going to take everybody out silently.
You are probably the world's worst Doom player there is.
No. Doom is different. Doom, there's no running. There's no opportunity for that in Doom. Doom is designed in a way you got to run and gun. Wolfenstein, on the other hand, is not. And I think that's why I maybe enjoyed it more, because I don't mind stealth.
Hey, you enjoyed it enough to finish it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wait, that's right.
Oh, you mean Wolfenstein 2?
2.
But no, going back to the game, it's actually pretty good. And again, if you had tagged it when it was free on PlayStation
I wonder
Plus,
if I did. I was kind of down on the not having finished the first one, so
but it's okay because you have that 12-minute thing, fills you in everything that happened. You don't have to play the first one.
Hooray!
Yeah, and from my understanding, what I remember hearing the reviews, the gameplay in this one's done much better too. So,
the first one when it came out, the boss fights were that was so bad.
Yeah,
because and my understanding was that they were outsourced.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's why they felt so different. Yeah, it's like they weren't told, "Hey, there's stealth." You know what I mean?
Oh, by the way, and if you have been expecting towards stealth. Now you're screwed. You're completely screwed. Yeah. But and they released a director's edition version, which I think I might have gotten as a free upgrade. I want to say, and they supposedly fixed those. Yeah, they fixed those pulse battles, so you can actually approach them from a more stealthier.
I definitely recommend it. It's a pretty good game. But yeah, that's all I've been doing. And we're back, guys, and we're going to go right into some news items. I just put my phone down, so I'm completely unprepared here for
all right. Let me pick it up here for you.
I got it.
Okay, fine. You want to start?
Is Strange 2.
What is that?
Yes, that is a great... Well, the first one was great. They're going to be starting their 5-episode story. It's going to begin this September. So we're going to see that a little sooner than expected, because the game, the Captain...
the Captain Spirit?
Okay, yes, Captain Spirit. That's supposed to lead into Life is Strange 2. And I was a little concerned. I said, well, gosh, if you did this to lead into it, how far away are we from Life is Strange 2?
No, apparently not
that far at all.
That's good.
So good job.
Do we know anything about the story of that?
No, that's what that first episode, the Captain thing is for. It's supposed to kind of set up what we're to expect.
Do you think it's going to be about the kid?
I think so. I think this is his history. It looks like there's alcoholism with the father involved. I didn't see a mom. I'm not sure what it is, but I think all those things are... I think he may use those in his imagination and the things he does. Yeah,
because you can see him in the first game. He's going like to planets and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the mind of a child.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the next chapter is going to be like him adult, like
dealing with his stuff. Yeah. That's going to kind of suck, but
I hope he doesn't make me cry. Totally do hope that it makes me cry.
Yeah. So look forward to that. It is also Captain Spirit will come out on June 26th. This one here, the first episode will launch on September 27th. It will be 5 episodes, and I can't wait.
I'm interested on that one, of course, because Life is Strange, one of my favorite games of that year. 2016, was it?
2015, I think it was.
15?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's such a long time. Man, time flies.
We played it in 2016.
That's what it was.
But it came out in 2016.
That's what it was. That's right, because I did hear that on 2015's year end when they were talking about it.
Which made us play it in that year. That's what it was.
That's what it was. So this one, I'm going to start with this one that I just saw recently, actually cooked today. Bethesda is suing Warner Brothers for a blatant rip-off of Fallout Shelter. So there is evidently there is a game. Bethesda is suing Westworld game developer Behavior Interactive and publisher Warner Brothers, claiming Behavior stole its design, artwork, and coding and used them in the mobile app. So Bethesda accuses behavior of stealing assets from Fallout Shelter, which behavior helped develop and using them in their Westworld game. Now, I didn't know about this game, but evidently, as of right now, it hasn't been released everywhere. It's just been released on certain countries.
Oh, okay.
On certain countries. No, I think I heard that you could actually get an invite just yet, but it's not out. Anyway, according to the suit file, Bethesda is suing behavior for breach of contract, while Warner Brothers is being sued for inducement of breach of contract. So they're the enablers, apparently.
That looks pretty much. I'm looking at some video here, and that was kind of close.
I don't know, man. I looked at the same, and
it's the underground portion that looks the same, really.
Yeah, but you kind of have to. You kind of expect it to happen because my understanding, I haven't watched the Westworld, but they do have an underground element, right? Like under
it's sort of basically, yeah. If you haven't watched Westworld is basically they've created this real world West, that looks like the Old West, and it's occupied by a bunch of they call them hosts, but they're basically machines that look like humans.
Yeah.
And whenever you're left to play and kill and do whatever you want, any of the hosts die. They just take them back, and they come out of nowhere. Yeah. Sometimes it'll be an elevator that pops up out of the middle of the desert or something like that. Some weird stuff. So it is kind of technically underneath it, but it's also elsewhere. So
it is. I mean, you see the videos and you think like it doesn't. It's not that it's meant to look exactly like Fallout Shelter, but it has like substantially close gameplay elements, and one could argue that. Maybe that there's a possibility there in the sense that behavior was contracted to work on Fallout Shelter and those assets to be exclusive to Fallout Shelter. But then what confuses me a little bit is that if they're talking about assets as in like the day-to-day stuff that will be on an underground shelter, for example, well, those kind of things are going to look kind of similar. I'm not defending them, but I'll have to see a little bit more.
How else? Especially if you're already going with the animated character look, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the animated character look, which I can see. Like I can see the movement and the gameplay elements is very similar because the idea is that just like you're keeping on Fallout Shelter, you're keeping taking care of your shelter. Over here, you're taking care of your whatever that is, the lab or the underground thing. Anyway, I'm just surprised that Bethesda go as far as to call him like a blatant ripoff,
Oh, wow.
And saying that their argument is basically that the two games have substantially similar gameplay elements. So it will be interesting to see how this sets a precedent, if any, because if we're going to talk about blatant ripoffs. I have a few Battle Royale games that we should be talking about. Should be in this conversation here.
They should be.
And some...
although there is a suit going on that.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, there's currently a suit about it. So, it will be interesting to see. I personally don't like when these things get engaged because the problem is the moment you start setting precedents like that, it stifles creativity.
It does, yeah. Because we can't do this because
we probably shouldn't.
I mean, look what happened to Pray for the Gods. They had to change it to Pray for the Gods just because of Pray the game, which had nothing to do with it.
But that's that. I mean, evidently they're very so happy because remember when Mojang from the creator of Minecraft was creating that game Scrolls.
Scrolls, yeah.
The game was called Scrolls. That's it. And Bethesda was literally suing Mojang because I think it's I think it was a parent company. Okay, so it was a parent company. It was they're all involved. Yeah, they're all one big suing happy group.
They sure
because of the name Scrolls, because the Elder Scrolls, because apparently that's the word scroll can only be used. it's kind of ridiculous. Yes,
it is kind of ridiculous. But lawsuits happen, and one may happen here. One may say.
Here, GG? Oh, they better not. We have that shit trademarked.
This is true. We do.
Yeah. We'll fuck you up if you try to mess up with we'll stick our lawyers on you.
Yes.
Florida lawyers, which are
you don't want to mess with
super.
The Lincoln lawyer there. No. AMC Theaters is taking on MoviePass head on.
What?
Yes.
How so?
So MoviePass, if you don't know, okay, is a company that rocked the movie theater industry by offering nearly unlimited movie tickets for $9.95 a month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. AMC Theaters announced this past Wednesday, that it'll offer a similar service called AMC Stubs A-List. It starts June 26th.
Rolls off the tongue.
It sure does not. Billed as a new tier to AMC's existing Stubs loyalty program, AMC Stubs A-List will offer members the ability to see up to 3 movies each week, including IMAX and 3D screenings.
There you go.
With a $19.99 per month subscription.
Oof. Little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit higher, isn't it?
I don't know. And only AMC theaters.
Only AMC theaters.
Unless that's all you have in your area. I'm not sure the value proposition is good.
It's definitely going to be there. There's no way they're going to offer that.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, nice try, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Although I'm glad to see that this ideas are catching up, because that can only mean more savings towards the consumers, because they'll have more.
True.
I'm sure if MoviePass gets to be successful, which I don't see how, but
I heard that it should be shutting down next month. So,
well, I hope that's not the case.
Financial analysts predicted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. So if it ends up being somehow successful, somebody's playing Galaga.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
What's that about?
I don't know. Somebody's playing Galaga right now. It's my ringtone.
Yeah.
If suddenly we start seeing a little sprinkle of companies similar to MoviePass.
My only issue. Well, let me finish with what comes with it. So first of all, you're able to see IMAX and 3D, which you're not able to do with MoviePass.
No, yeah.
You only see standard viewings. Unlike MoviePass, also, which only allows subscribers to see 1 movie per day, I'm just going to call it the A-List. A-List will let subscribers use their 3 movies at any time during the week, including the same day. Additionally, the A-List tickets can be purchased in advance, while MoviePass tickets cannot.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah.
Plus, if you do have that, you still... if you are part of the regular AMC Stubs loyalty program, where you collect points, you start getting free popcorn and all this good stuff, that still counts. So you will still be collecting those points for all the time that you use it, and that will, basically that's an additional benefit. So they're hoping that all these additional little things and the fact that you can only do this at an AMC theater will outweigh the extra $10 per month. I think
they should throw some popcorn in there, maybe, to sweeten the deal.
I'm glad.
I was gonna say some candy to sweeten the deal. Get it? No.
Yes, I don't know. I'm not. No, I'm sorry. I'm all right with MoviePass.
AMC theaters. Hey, they're remodeling. They're making some
haven't
strides.
Seen it yet. The Regal. I finally went to the Regal over there in Winter Park over there. And they have recliners. They have
nice.
They have these little tables that you can pull out in front of you.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, I'm like, okay, all right, and it's assigned seating and everything. It's like,
see, that's the next step.
Yeah.
That's the next step in movie theater. Not like 3D or 4D or whatever the hell. IMAX, yeah, we kind of wanted a bigger screen and some crazy speakers, but give us. Make the whole experience easier enough to where you'll be okay getting getting up from your couch and going to the movie theater, because that was the problem. I did not want to go make a line, gotten out what seat, be separated.
I'm like, no, we gotta get in. We gotta claim our seats. Now I'm like, I don't matter. There's no rush.
We could get them in advance.
My seats are already reserved. So yeah,
we could get them in advance. So. PUBG, remember that game, that little indie title that came out of nowhere and rocked the world with its incredible player base? Suddenly, out of nowhere, it didn't invent it, contrary to what some people believe, but it put the battle royale genre on the spot, right? So ever since January of this year, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds peaked around 3.2 million concurrent players on Steam. But since then, the numbers have been declining. They've been going down.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. Yeah, I don't know what are people playing right now.
No idea.
That could be taking.
Maybe the people are wanting Cyberpunk, and they did what I did, and they just started this mass. No,
You know what I think
What
it
was
is?
that?
Minecraft.
Oh
People
shit,
making-
Minecraft.
people
You're right.
making Minecraft.
You're
They're
absolutely
building forts
right. Yeah.
on the night.
Yeah, to make sure because they need to protect themselves.
They need to protect themselves at night, so they're building forts tonight. Yeah, that's right.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, since then they have lost as many as around 50%, from 3.2 million concurrent players back in January to 1.7 million right now, and it keeps declining. Now, obviously, it's no secret. Games like that are gonna grow up and then gonna go down, and it happens to the Call of Duties. But the thing with Call of Duty is that they always have another one in the next year to pick you back up, and then the budget that down onto the next one next year. But on this one, it is kind of a little disappointing because like this time last year, everyone was talking about PUBG. PUBG was the thing. We played it. We had a
the
good
game
time
of the
with
year
it.
at one point. Yeah.
It got to be. It got to be when people were like, "No, it can't be a game of the year. The game's not even finished.
Yeah.
You can't call it game of the year." But yeah, it was. It is interesting to see that just recently, as far as this Steam sale that is happening right now, it's the first time that I've ever seen that game go down in price.
Oh,
From $29.99 to I paid.
How far did it go down? Because that also
I think it's like 20. I think it's like 19 right now.
Okay, that's doable.
Yeah. I think
That's okay. I mean, technically, it's been out almost 2 years now. No, I mean it's not like it's that new.
Yeah.
Or that recent. So it's acceptable to be, and especially if your numbers are going down. This is how you get people back. This is what they do.
Yeah. Now the thing that surprised me a lot, and I mentioned this to Shadow when we had our topic of the week had to do with battle royale games. This Fortnite was something that was in development for the longest time, and it was almost becoming a joke. Like, oh yeah, remember Fortnite? They showed it like very, very early. It was supposed to be the next thing from Epic, while Cliff Bleszinski was still at the helm of that company. So it was like you could almost think like, oh shoot, this is coming from the creator of Unreal and Gears of War, and you were expecting the next Gears of War, and it ended up being this silly thing. Save
the world thing,
it was like a groan, like a universal groan. Like, oh come on, we were expecting the next Gears of War, or at least an updated Unreal tournament or something like that. Who knows? And it just went. The game went on the ground. Nobody knew about it. There were people talk. There was some talk of people that actually had seen the game or were invited. Actually, that's what it was. There was a beta running, but it was under NDA. It was a very private beta, NDA and all. And all they had to do was like see what PUBG was doing, and they're like, "We can do this, and we have these tools that we use for construction, but we can just incorporate those, and let's just throw the whole thing with Fortnite feels like it was just thrown together to compete with PUBG, or not even to compete. You know what? I don't think it was there to compete. I think it was just there to siphon from the popularity of PUBG, just to get a trickle down. Like, oh yeah, this game is kind of similar, and people are playing it, and it has this crazy stupid thing where you build stuff like on the spot.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you need a cover, you just build it out of nowhere, out of parts that don't make sense to be a cover, because
it's a very animated game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very a silly game, and it was meant to be, hey, you like battle royale. Well, when you take a break from this, try this one out. You know what I mean? And before you know it,
try this cookie thing, and this cookie thing took the world by storm.
Yep.
And right now is this crazy thing where the main type of game is just like the secondary thing now.
Yeah, they don't even I don't think they even play that. Last year, PUBG was so big that I was like, man, I don't know when the next thing will ever be like this. Here we are. Not even a full year later.
Well,
and here it is. They are probably bigger than PUBG ever was at this point.
They're bigger, yeah.
Yeah,
I would
that's what I'm
say. I would say to the point that you see the PUBG developers throwing the lawsuits. Not so much because the game is similar, although it kind of is, but more because you guys are the makers of the technology that we use to make our game, and now you're building your own with your own technology. We can see how you could be, not allowing us the latest, stuff like that. It's kind of shiesty.
There's definitely some sort of conflict of interest in there.
Do you know when I noticed that this is when I realized I knew that it was big, but this is when it kind of cemented the thought. You remember Minecraft, right? Suddenly there was little kids, little kids. Minecraft. Okay, so on this last cruise, there was this character that was supposed to be like an astronaut, but the kids around them didn't recognize him as an astronaut. They didn't even recognize him as what he was dressed as. They recognized him as the crazy skin from Fortnite that is like it has a fish inside, the helmet.
Yeah.
Or the fish is controlling the body or whatever. To them, that was this what that astronaut was. To the point that they will start dancing, doing that stupid dance of Fortnite that I hate. The little kids will be doing that in front of it, and you can see the guy kind of like trying to mimic, but he doesn't know what he's doing. They don't know where it's coming from. Or probably he totally did. It's
possible,
but it was so crazy to see that. Yeah,
that is insane.
It's little kid, and that's another thing. Every time my wife will have like the get together with her friends, and the friends will bring sometimes their sons, and they're bored, and of course I'm the only other guy in the house, so they strike a conversation with me, and the first thing that will ask me will be like, "You play Fortnite?"
Yeah.
Play Fortnite?
It's that big, man. It's that big.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Yeah, and I mean, congratulations to Epic. I mean, literally, you've struck gold.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't know. It's a little bit of a conflict of an interest there, where you kind of stepped in and essentially, I don't know.
Yeah.
My last piece, sir.
What?
Yes.
That's it. I have like 4 of them still.
That's
what you're leaving me.
I'm leaving you 4.
Damn.
Well,
Okay.
I'll just mention my last piece, and then we can talk about yours.
We could go rapid fire on mine.
I had, and
and I'm an artist.
the
Yes, I
Han
know.
Solo movie, right? It came out recently.
Oh yes.
It was. One may say.
How many times have we seen it already?
Oh gosh,
Like 0 times.
It's I was gonna say like 5 if you times it by 0. So,
You divide it by 0.
yeah. So apparently not very well received, even overseas, where these type of films do way better than they do domestically, and for whatever reason, they did worse overseas.
Oh snap!
I was like, wow, that's unheard of. But that definitely woke somebody up in Disney and said, guess what, guys? All these spinoffs, we're gonna shelve those for now. So for now,
really,
yes, Disney is only focusing on your main episode. Right now, they have episode 9, which is in the works, and they've already announced the next trilogy, which is going to be 10, 11, and 12, which is going to be headed up by Rian Johnson. Those are their focus. So there's not going to be an every other year for now.
Oh, really?
So, unfortunately, your Boba Fett film and your Obi-Wan Kenobi film.
Yeah, I don't know if those are.
Those are not going to happen, guys.
But I kind of see now. I'm looking for it and I can't find it. But I thought that I saw an update to that where, or maybe they're just doing a save face, and to say like, no, those plans are still up.
Oh, I said shelved. I didn't say destroyed or deleted.
Oh, completely.
Shelved. They're being shelved.
Okay. Yeah, they'll be like put on hiatus.
Correct. Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? What was the first thing that we all thought when we started seeing the idea of a Han Solo movie? And there was he had his defenders. He had people like, no, Han Solo is my favorite character.
Oh, he's mine too.
I would love to see a movie about him. And I said. And I said, yeah, and that's valid. You want to see a movie about your favorite character. a favorite character of mine, I probably want to see a movie, but I probably won't, because the moment you start fleshing out the mystery of that character, now it loses its appeal, because it's like, oh, well, you know them, or they forced this story on him just to make it
the concept was
to the masses or whatever.
To me, the
I bet in this movie he never shot first. Sorry.
I hope he shot first all the time. Otherwise, that's why you guys fuck up the movie. The concept to me of a Han Solo film was doomed, simply put, because it was a prequel.
Yep.
You're showing us stuff. There's going to be zero stakes. Even in the trailer, you see them. Oh, they're trying to get away. They've got to make sure. Like, how are they not going to get away?
Yeah,
he exists in the movie later on. So what stakes are there for him or Chewie? So the only stakes there would be for these other characters, not Lando, obviously, another one who you not have to worry about, because obviously he exists later on. The only stakes you have are for these other characters that you hope people will be interested in. Han Solo was a character that's dear to the original trilogy people, which is us.
Yep.
And we, especially the Star Wars fans, like myself, read novels. I know how he jumped. He was he was a rebellion soldier at one point. Not a rebellion soldier, excuse me. Empire soldier at one point. That's how he got his training. And then he ended up leaving and now he's a smuggler. All that happened. I know about this. I've known this for years, as most people who follow Star Wars who grew up with Han Solo. So those are the people who you need to come to the theater. But guess what? We want the continuation of the story. That's what I want. That's what's more interesting to me. Han Solo,
the unknown.
Correct. Han Solo is not a dear character to young people. They don't know him. That we know him. You know what I'm saying? So it was a doomed project. It was a doomed project to begin with. It was like, it doesn't make sense. Nobody cares. I haven't seen the movie, and I can only imagine that a lot of the little things that we know about him already are there, because if you stray too far, no one's gonna like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was wasted. It was wasted. I don't know what the purpose of it was for. Yes, Rogue One, that I understood.
Now, Rogue One is different.
To an extent, I understood that. We don't know who those people were. We do know that what they did, but we don't know what those people. And we don't know, technically, we never knew the outcome of what happened. So that was interesting.
That one worked.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that one worked because of that, because it was new characters. It was a story that was not told, that you didn't know what to expect. Yeah, they talk. They say, it's a suicide story, but you never knew the level that it was.
It was never even mentioned. So you look at the scroll, the scrolling, it was never mentioned. It was a suicide mission.
Well, and you know what? You mentioned that. Funny you mentioned that, because I was feeling like the same way with the Han Solo. With now you tell me, he used to be an Imperial soldier, and then he defected and he became a smuggler. Like, none of his actions in the first movie led me to believe that he was that. Nor does he mention it in any way where it could have been useful for him or Obi-Wan, if he knows him, to bring those things up. It was like none of that. Not even the
Obi-Wan's another one. What Obi-Wan are we seeing here? Padawan Obi-Wan. What the hell do we want to see him for?
Yeah,
we saw him. Exactly, in episode 1.
Yeah,
and we saw him become a Jedi Master throughout. Yeah. What else do we need to see from the Obi-Wan film? The years he spent in Tatooine as a hermit. I don't need to see that.
That's the thing with Star Wars. It makes me feel like some of it is just so overwrought with unnecessary lore. Like, they have a lore, they want to put a lore to every character that ever existed. The guy with the big scar and he was a doctor for this and this, and it's like, no, fuck no, he was just some dude at a bar. Come on, don't try to C-3PO didn't have to be created by freaking Anakin
in everybody's hands at one point or another. It doesn't make sense. So yes, I that's all I had, by the way. But yeah, that was the problem with it. Was doomed to begin with. It never moved the needle for me, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
obviously, that's exactly what happened in the box office.
Well, shoot, you kind of left me in the cold here, because I did have a couple things to bring up, but I'll bring them up fast, just to kind of whet your appetites. The Red Dead Redemption 2 may come to PC too. Haha, surprise. People were, did you ever had the doubt that it was happening? But
Is GTA 5 on PC?
Yeah.
So then why would we not know this?
Because it
Or rather,
was
why would they not do it? I mean,
because they didn't do it immediately after. It actually took a while for the PC version to come out, and I think the reason they do it now is on purpose. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say it's on purpose, but it is kind of interesting because it's like, okay, you play this game because you're not gonna miss it, unless you're named Arnaldo Martin. You're not gonna miss GTA 5, and then later on down the line, you gonna want to play the PC version because it's that game, that legendary game, and runs better and blah blah blah. So it kind of makes you, it kind of scratches that double dip, and hey, I triple dip because I got it on Xbox 360, then I got it on PS4, and I got it on PC, and no regrets. no regrets. No regrets. That game is great.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it's bringing it to PC.
So the idea was that they never announced a PC version of Red Dead Redemption when the reveal was out. But then VGA 24/7 is reporting that Rockstar Games is preparing to launch the title on PC as well as PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The site found a LinkedIn profile which Engadget has independently verified themselves of a developer who worked for Rockstar for almost a decade, and on the resume it includes reference to the Red Dead Redemption 2 for PC. So it's one of those things where you find it on a LinkedIn. But that's happening. Come on, it's like
I mean, it could have been shortly thereafter, or who knows? It could be same day.
Really, there's no surprise there.
Yeah.
There is a surprise, however, on some PC games. Speaking of PC games and surprises, haha. I'm a master of these things.
Yes, you're doing excellent, sir.
Thank you. A smattering. Is that how you pronounce it? Smattering. PC games are tracking where you go and what you do on the internet when you aren't playing it.
Wow.
Some Reddit detectives discovered that games, including some venerable ones like Civilization 6.
Oh wow, Civ 6.
The Elder Scrolls Online, Kerbal Space Program.
Jesus Christ! Wow. Why that one?
Hunt Showdown and Warhammer Vermintide 2 have that so-called adware. I'm going to call it adware. They say, it's not spyware. I'm going to call it spyware because guess what? When you're spying, you're spyware. Yeah, exactly. If you're spying and the person doesn't know,
software that's spying, that's spyware.
That's spyware. Period. That's exactly. Essentially, it is a software that, if installed, it discerns where you were exposed to the marketing campaign for the game that you're playing, and if said campaign led you to purchasing the game. So apparently, it is super effective. The company, the name of the software is called Red Shell, and it boasts a 98% plus accuracy rating. If you read the FAQ, it says all data that we collect is yours. We only use it for attribution, not to aggregate, distribute, or sell any data. We do not collect any personal information about your players. We only collect and store information about their browsers, computers, for purposes of attribution.
And their internet history, so we can blackmail them later on.
Well, you know what? It's tracking software.
Yeah.
Call it what you will. Say that you don't track these things or that things, but the fact that you had to hide it and not get any permission.
Yes, whenever it's never up front.
Yeah,
there's a reason why. You obviously you don't want to admit it. You don't want to tell people you're doing this for a reason.
Yeah,
because it's
Yeah, and as you can imagine, there has been already some developers, including Bethesda, who has said, "Hey, this ad is just doing what is doing what it's saying that it's do. However, we'll remove it. We'll remove it. They're already backing down. There's some other developers that are like, there's no reason to remove it. This is actually helping us market our game better, which in case is what you want, so that we can support it better and grow the community around it. So that's not a direct quote or anything like that. But basically, that's the idea. You know, some developers are staunch like defenders of it. The first time I saw it, I read about it, I was infuriated. I deleted, the games that I have, like Civ 6 and stuff like that, out of my Steam account, and I was furious because it's like, you see, this is some of the areas where this is an area of PC gaming that we don't need. There's already a stigma with some PC games for all the glory and the master race, whatever. There's some things to talk, about. Hey, compatibilities can make your game that you just recently bought unplayable, and some stores do not allow you to return them. So you screw and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So the last thing we need is, by the way, if you have ever played Elder Scrolls Online, the company's still tracking your movement on the internet. For whatever purpose they might say. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that, well, no, this is not defending on it in any way. This is just to try to bring myself down, and I actually went and edited some of the stronger words that I used on that post when I originally made it. Was that, hey, this is the internet now. This is the reason why, the stuff that we get sometimes even for free. This is the reason why we're getting them is because,
and worse, the world we're going to see soon is going to be even more connected, even less private. It's the world you look at. You want that technology. You want to be constantly connected. You want
to be on Facebook. Facebook is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Hey, exactly. you are handling your information away.
Every little thing.
Every little thing that you click, that you do, that you select, that you post. Every little thing is getting tracked, and you're just doing it because hey, we like having the group that we have. We like connecting with people. So it's kind of like a give and take.
It is.
At the end, I was like, I will probably see this as just that, as that give and take, and end up reinstalling some of the games that I uninstall. That doesn't mean I'm happy about it. It means that, hey, now that you got caught up, you better start being a little bit more upfront, about those things.
Agree.
So yeah. I'm gonna skip since we already talked about MoviePass. There was Microsoft recently announced. I don't know if it did announce it like that, but it says that they are abandoning the VR plans for the Xbox One. Gee, I wonder why. Speaking with GameIndustry.biz, Microsoft Chief Marketing Officer of Gaming, Mike Nichols, revealed that the company doesn't have any plans specific to the Xbox One console. This is, of course, a complete 180 from Xbox chief Phil Spencer's promise to integrate VR within the Xbox One X. Instead, Microsoft seems preoccupied with bringing the immersive qualities of VR and MR to PC. That was a lot of VR, acronyms. MR. MR is the mixed reality. Yes, that's what it is. So yeah, it was kind of an interesting U-turn.
But no surprise there.
No. To me, they kind of have to see. They kind of have to see the temperature of the room. It's not. I mean, VR is not turning the world and revolutionizing it the way we all thought it was gonna.
I think, and I'm not gonna dwell on this too much. I think that it's still early. It is not dead, but it is still early. The tech is there. What's not there is a simple way to access VR. VR still requires too much hardware, too much. Even the PS4 version of it, which is the cheapest version you get, you still need a PS4. You have wires, you have boxes, you have all this stuff. It's just not that. It's not a simple way to sit and play. However, I can still say that in the future, VR is not gone for good. And in the future, I'm sure we'll have a much smaller, much easier, much accessible version of it. It will become part of your household at probably at one point. So I have no doubts that it's not it's still going to survive. Yeah. But no, you're right. The market is not for it now. Microsoft's looking at it. I'm sure they didn't do away with their whatever. They just put it in the back burner.
Honestly, they're putting it for they're not retiring it completely from. They're putting it to where it makes a little bit more sense. Will be the PC, the PC, and towards more commercial,
which
endeavors rather than games. Yeah, which also makes more sense because they are on that business too.
Yep.
And finally, early this week, the World Health Organization, the WHO? Exactly. Classified gaming disorder officially. So what does that mean? Well, the World Health Organization has finalized the draft for the 11th International Compendium of Diseases, the IDC revision, opting to include a disorder involving video game addiction within its pages. This comes from Gamma Sutra, by the way. The 11th revision officially classifies gaming disorder alongside other addictive disorders, and with its finalization marks I'm reading that completely wrong. And with its finalization marks the first time any video game related issues have appeared in the diagnostic manual through official adoption by the WHO members. By the WHO members, states that might still vary years away. That sentence did not make sense. Anyway, the IDC 11, which you can view online, now classify gaming disorder as a pattern of persistent or recurring gaming behavior that manifests as impaired control over gaming, increasing priority given to gaming in the extent that gaming takes precedence over other life interests and daily activities, and the continuation or escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences. We don't have to dwell 100% into this. We actually did talk about this on a few episodes back, where we have our topic of the week, and it was just about gaming disorder. I expressed my points where I felt like at one point in my life, gaming was becoming like the main thing. The important is it was escapism. Mm-hmm. But I was, because of the things that I was going through my life around that time, it was becoming my sole consolator,
consoling, the way to console yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It was a way to just feel that I was achieving, stuff that I was not achieving in real life, because in real life there was a detriment. Mm-hmm. There was a detriment.
Yeah.
And how I recognized it, and I try to make sure that I don't fall in that pattern again. That doesn't mean I play a lot less or anything like that. I mean, I play a lot. I have a very understanding wife that likes the fact that appreciates my hobbies, but is not scared of letting me know when, hey, hello, I'm still here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and I don't fight that, anymore. It's more just the realization that, hey, perhaps there are other things as well. We all love gaming, but just like everything, just like anything that you like, if you don't do it in moderation, it's just gonna affect you. Period. So
too much of anything is not good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dwell on that much either, but I will say that I think I think that this is a little bit rushed. I feel that because, as we just said, addiction can come from any form. Okay, anytime you and I think my issue, and I know what ICD 11 is because I used to work with ICD 9. I used to actually do medical billing. So there's basically medical codes you use to bill a certain whatever. So I know that to me, I guess maybe that's what to me basically. There's always an underlying issue that leads to these things. It's usually escapism. It's usually because you don't want to deal with a certain problem that's going on. The problem isn't what you're doing to escape from it. It's the fact that you're seeking the escape, that you're not facing the issue, that you're abandoning life by doing whatever it is to escape from it. And I think personally, that's the issue that needs to be focused on, needs to be worked on, as opposed to labeling all these things. You know what I mean? Because, and I think that's a slippery slope, that can suddenly, when you start seeing stuff like this, I hate to see people treated poorly because, you must have a sickness. You know what I mean? And that's
the last thing that we need, a label.
Exactly. We already have a label. It's like it or not, gaming is still to a certain extent a stigma. You know what I mean? And we've, I think us as gamers, a gaming community, we work so hard to get out of this stigma to now have another label we have to now fight. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's not to say that gaming addiction doesn't exist. I'm simply stating that it's addiction that exists. This particular person is addicted to gaming. The problem is the addiction, not the gaming. You know what I mean? The gaming is natural. You can be addicted to like inhaling oxygen. Oxygen's good. You get oxygen from a thing and that shit makes you high. You can get addicted to that. It's just oxygen. You know what I mean? But the point is that becomes a thing because now that you want that sensation all the time. And the problem isn't the thing. The problem is your need for it. You know what I mean?
I think the problem is the major problem, because you're right. I agree with you. It is something that you're using to escape. So there should be there's probably a catalyst that is causing that to take on that compulsively. Now the part where you are doing it to the detriment of other parts of your life is what I consider to be the disorder part. Correct. Because you could be addicted to shit. You could be addicted to sex, and you're a gigolo, and all you do is, everywhere I go, I'm just a gigolo. And hey, I'm single. It's not affecting anybody if they consent. Obviously, I'm not. Otherwise, if I'm a rapist, that's a major disorder. But same thing with I don't know, collecting. Exactly. You're a collector, and hey, you love collecting shit and collecting stuff, and that's your passion, and you can be very passionate about it, and it's not affecting anybody, even though you are compulsively doing so. But the moment that you start doing whatever it is that you're doing at the detriment of something else, like say for example those sad stories that we hear constantly, usually in Asian countries where there's a couple, although it has happened here as well, where a couple, a mother and a father, will be playing whatever is the latest game over there and not attending their kids, and their kids die of horrible causes or accident or whatever because they were not paying attention. That's the part where okay, this is out of the normal because you're not realizing the damage that you're making. Correct. If I was playing to the point where my wife will feel completely neglected, that's the disorder, because I'm not. It's like I'm putting my gaming over her feelings, and that's
over everything else, everything else that is important in life. And it's exactly the point. But I guess just to reiterate, it's the act of doing that, not the thing itself, that becomes the problem. And it doesn't have to be that severe. It could just be, you're not paying your rent. because you're
Yeah.
using that money to go. Oh man,
Drinking.
drinking, or if you want to go with the gaming, you're putting money towards Fortnite to
Oh,
get
you're
all the
putting a
little
lot.
other things,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
boxes and all that. So those are all.
That's
those
not normal. See,
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
That could be considered a disorder. That you should seek help for something
Correct,
of
yeah.
that.
Exactly.
But hey, I don't have any other hobbies. All I do is play. But I'm not affecting anybody else. I do it in my time. But I'm still going out. I'm still taking care of the house. I'm still making sure that all the chores are all the rent, the rent is paid. Everything else, I'm not wasting my money on stuff like that.
There's a savings happening.
There's a savings.
You're doing the regular stuff. Yeah,
that's just you just like it, and yeah, that's why. But I feel what you say, because it's got to be like, okay, so now it's an official quote unquote disorder. I can definitely see it now getting abused. Being abused,
Exactly.
which is what we were fearing.
Which was the other half of that.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly,
okay, yeah.
exactly. I don't have anything else, sir.
Me. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back, guys.
Good morning, GG. This is the one, the only Chaos Reaper. I'm here to tell it like I see it. We're talking about the hot topic of the week. What is it? Crossplay. Yes. Why is Sony so adamant with not allowing crossplay? It's been done before. They've done it before. You guys mentioned the Fortnite accidental switch, but crossplay between Sony and Microsoft is a thing. I said it a million times. The PS2 and the Xbox 360, along with the PC, crossplay Final Fantasy 11. When 14 came out, it was Microsoft who didn't want to crossplay. That's why they don't have Final Fantasy 14. Somewhere along the line, Sony said, like, well, if you don't want to do it, then we're not going to do it. So now Microsoft wants to do it, but Sony doesn't want to do it. And Microsoft is serious, because not only that are they doing it with Nintendo, they released a commercial that has both their logos on it. It's a little subtle because they're like in the corner, on the lower left corner for Xbox, lower right corner for Nintendo. When they're going through the commercials, they're saying like explore together, create together, and once the left side is green, the right side is red, symbolizing each console. And it was great. I thought it was amazing. Why can't they do that? They say it's all about money, but that still doesn't make any sense. Those who prefer your console will still buy your console. They just have the option of playing with their friends who are on Xbox, who prefer the Xbox platform. Like, in what way would you lose money? That is my honest question. You already have like all the PS4 sold. You're turning arrogant, and you're probably gonna come up with a PlayStation 5 that's gonna cost like $700, and nobody's gonna fucking buy it. I mean, seriously. Look what happened to Sony back in the PlayStation 3. Look what happened to Microsoft with the Xbox One. Look how long it took both companies to recover from that initial mess. And they're like in a collision course for the same thing. Like Sony's on collision course to do the exact same mistake, because they never learn. So here we're left with nothing but hope that Sony will wake up from this blindness and finally give us the crossplay that we deserve, that we've always wanted, that we've always asked for. Because Microsoft finally woke up to it. Why is Sony so defensive about it? You guys were willing to do it before. Why not now? Why does the money matter so much now? Was it because you needed the money back then that you were willing to do it, and now that you have it, you don't care? It doesn't make sense. So that's it for me, guys. Those are my 2 cents on the subject. Have a good weekend. This is Chaos Reaper. GG. On Xbox. Why the fuck not?
And we're back, guys.
Yes.
Mr. Chaos Reaper tells it like it is.
Oh, yes. Oh, man, I miss the chaos. I miss the chaos that chaos creates.
This is true. I do miss his 2 cents, as he likes to put it. Yes.
To his 2 cents. You are definitely a GG guard.
Yes, he is. Most definitely. So if you don't know, the hot topic of the week is about crossplay. Apparently, crossplay is right now working pretty well. Believe it or not, right now with specifically Fortnite.
Yes.
You can play in a room, someone on a Switch, someone on mobile, and someone on Xbox One.
Someone on PC?
And someone on PC.
Yeah.
4 people, 4 different locations.
One
play
game.
across of it, one game.
It looked like an ad.
And yeah, it's kind of, yeah. So what the hell is up with Sony, sir? Why are they so, like Mr. Chaos put it?
Here's how you play Fortnite with your other console's friend. Step 1, setting up the game. You cannot.
Or better yet, which honestly, he mentions the commercial, by the way, guys. There is a commercial out there that is actually pretty cool. It's a pretty cool commercial. It does show off Minecraft, specifically on that one as well. And essentially, it is their Nintendo's and Microsoft's little answer to the how do you share a game on PlayStation 4. It's literally this 5 years later.
It's taking advantage of a controversial thing,
Yes.
And running with it to boost their campaigns.
Yes.
Which it sounds low and like, come on, really? But at the same time, it sounds brilliant because I'm a big fan of when Sony did it with the here's how you share games on the PlayStation. Back when it was thought that you would not be able to share your Xbox game with your friends. So seeing this collaboration was almost inspiring. At the same time, it was also like, oh, come on, of course you're gonna take advantage and do that.
Why
but
not?
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool, and I hope the message gets spread more. I mean, it is spread in the sense that even mainstream media is talking about it. You could see it. You could see it on the internet.
Because this is I would say that commercial is unheard of. It has not happened. There has not been a collaborated commercial between two big console manufacturers that I can think of. You guys can fact check me on that.
If
I don't think I have ever seen Nintendo and Nintendo and Sony were supposed to get together, but they never did. Once they did not, they still never did.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is new territory.
There hasn't that I can think of. There hasn't been a collaboration of that sort. I personally, I listen. I understand there is a reason that he would Chaos. He was wondering like why is Sony holding this, and it's like you and I joke all the time about the same old why.
Yeah,
exactly, it's the same old why. It's about money. And how is it about money? Is it that Sony thinks that allowing their player base to play with Microsoft could have an impact on their player base, like suddenly Sony players defecting to Microsoft or something like that? No, they don't see it that way. The main issue that they have, that Sony has, is that they don't like the idea of you buying items on, say, the Xbox store, the Xbox on Xbox One,
via the Xbox store,
and be able to play those items on their console because
that you didn't pay for on their console.
Because you didn't pay on the console. Because for those who don't know, when you purchase items on the consoles, the console manufacturers get a kickback, a percentage.
If I don't know if this is true. I heard it's like 30%.
I heard 30% too. I heard 30% too. And which don't surprise me because I think that sounds about right. Sounds about right for what Apple does on the Apple Store as well. So suddenly you buy all this stuff on Xbox and you play on your PlayStation account, or it appears on your PlayStation account, and Sony didn't get a cut of that. That's the reason why they don't like it.
That's the money reason.
That's the money part. Yeah.
And it's in truth, and this is not me defending it in any way. In truth, it makes perfect.
It makes business
sense.
It makes.
I'm not a businessman. I don't have a business degree. I don't know if you do.
No.
But just knowing how business works, that's money left on the table that they're not having. So
But
it makes
does
perfect.
Does it really?
No. Well, yeah, because they bought it over there.
Uh-huh.
You're not getting a kickback in any way. So yeah, that's money that they're not.
No, I'm not arguing that. Absolutely, I understand that part. What I'm seeing is the backlash. The backlash may not affect their pocket because I don't think that suddenly you're gonna have a big. I mean, this is. I wouldn't call it a minority. Actually, I would call it. This is a group of people. I mean, we're talking about a large group of Fortnite players. You know that obviously normally they have their PlayStation, or more than likely they have the PlayStation. If they bought another console, it's probably going to be the Switch. And
2 million downloads in the first 24 hours
exactly
of Fortnite,
and then realizing, I can't play it, and my only option is to make a different account when I'm like a level 0 again. But my point was going to be, my point was going to be that I forgot on that one. Sorry. I suddenly went like you were going to say something, and I kind of blacked out.
Sorry.
No, I was talking about the problem could be not damage to their wallet, but to their reputation, because
their image,
to their image, because they have from the very beginning the image of PlayStation was, we are for gamers, we're for the
gamers,
for the game, for the players
first,
and it was amazing how that message right there put at the perfect timing when Microsoft was trying to screw us, because that was what they were trying to do originally. Made the PlayStation 4 the premier console to play it, and inevitably. Okay, I'm still gonna start making words up, but there's no doubt that they already won this console generation. Yeah,
definitely.
So because I don't think this is something that
by flying
Xbox
colors too.
Exactly. So now you are acting like a total ass, even though. Yes, you think you're protecting your money, but you're protecting your money at the expense of your image, and that could have repercussions as well.
True.
I can see it. Maybe not the ones that I'm imagining it, because again, I don't think this is gonna make people like, you know what? Then fuck Sony. You know what? I'm not gonna buy a Sony product again. I don't think it's just that. It's just you never want to have the bad reputation, at that level, especially when this is petty compared to the money that you're making. Having the good, announcing that you're allowed. I mean, right now it's too late, because right now, if they announce that they're gonna open the flood, it just looks compensatory. It looks like, well, they had no choice; they were put in a corner. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think unfortunately, it may be a little. I mean, they could still do it. To kind of play devil's advocate here, because for whatever reason, I always end up in the advocate's position.
Hey, I was trying to, but this is indefensible. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
There's two portions of this here. Crossplay is one thing. Player progression is another. And what's holding people up now with Fortnite is the player progression. They cannot bring their character over from that attached, when it's attached to Sony, over to any of the other ones, because so that means you have to start over with a whole new account.
Yeah.
And everything you've collected, you can't use from that end.
Yeah.
That is a concept that happens kind of all the time at the moment, because if you have another game that's an online game that's already not crossplay, but let's say, for instance, you would still have to start a whole new account if you purchased it onto another console. You have to start a whole new player progression.
Right.
So this is not anything new. You know what I'm saying? Where, I don't have my player, I don't have all my stuff from it.
Yeah.
Did you ever have it before for any other game that had online stuff like that?
That's true.
You don't really have that.
No.
The reason it's such a big stink is because it's Fortnite. Another reason.
Well, the reason why it's a big thing is because a couple of companies now are allowing them.
Fortnite.
That they're proving the concept that this works.
Correct. And the other reason why it's a big thing is because it's been done. It literally got turned on, and not only did it get turned on, and was on for a few hours, it worked seamlessly.
Yeah.
There was no hiccup, nothing. It's like So what is holding this up? So suddenly the light goes back to the money thing. Now, as a company, are you going to go on stage? Because everybody's like, oh, that statement was the worst statement that we ever saw for them to give for the reasons why. And
It
yes,
was kind of the
it was a
worst.
shit statement.
It was a shit statement.
And people are like, you could just tell the truth. No company is going to go on stage and say, we don't want to do this because of the money.
Yeah.
No one's going to do that. So no statement really is ever going to work because you're not going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And nothing else makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
All the crap that they're not gonna say, this was the only thing that they could say.
Correct.
Because,
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been everything.
Anything. Is unfortunately this is a good thing for gamers that's happening right now. This is a major gaming milestone that we are coming into. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely major. Okay. Yes, he mentioned before the Chaos mentioned it before, being able to play Final Fantasy across the consoles.
Yes, if I may say, shocked that I have not heard about this. I mean, I knew about this. I just didn't. I haven't heard the gaming media talk about this at all. Hey, guess what? Well, you remember when Microsoft was in first place with the 360, and when Final Fantasy 11, I believe is the one that came out. 11 came out, and for some reason you cannot play with PlayStation. I think in this case was PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 was the version that had
first one, 11.
Yeah. The first 11 was on PlayStation 2, and you could not play because they wouldn't allow it. Now, people were citing like, oh, well, there's technology differences here or there, but no, there isn't. Because right now, we're seeing it with Fortnite. You can bet your ass there are some technology differences. Mobile, Switch,
yeah, you can
PC,
play it on and yes, mobile
and they
has
can play seamlessly.
Mobile and Switch have frame hiccups and issues, and they still run just fine together.
They're still playing. So
the technology's there. What's not there is I would argue that what's not there is the mindset. The mindset right now has been so long that this does not happen, and the companies don't want to give up that ground. Yes, Microsoft is making a good move with Nintendo to make this a thing. That said, it's one of those things. It's not going to be an overnight change. This is not something going to happen. I mean, just look at how long it's been. Last year's E3, what was one of the topics of last year's E3? Oh, Minecraft is unfortunately not going to be cross-play available with PlayStation 4. That was a year ago. And it's just been going on forever. However, the voices are getting louder. The problems are getting... And then you have two companies who finally made the move to do this. This is a step in the right direction. It's just not going to jump over because what is one thing that humanity fears? Change.
Yeah.
So no one wants change. As much as people want, innovate, whatever. No, when it comes to money, no, we don't want change. We want everything the way it is.
Unless the change brings us more money.
Exactly.
In which case,
and even then, it's still fearful. It's like, is it really going to bring us more money?
Yeah.
We don't know. Well, we think so. I think it'll be fine. So the point is to say, yes, it's wrong. I think if at minimum right now they should at least fucking unlock the damn player progression, so that every because they would at least be. I mean, Sony, if they want to do it, they would shut up if they did that. You know what I'm saying? They're hiding behind their it's in the terms and conditions. You accepted the terms and conditions, and you said you're okay with it.
That's actually the shittiest way to defend your position. Is like, well, you signed the contract, so fuck you. You're ours now.
It's the shittiest way, and yet it'll hold up in court every time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In the meantime, not that this will ever go.
No, definitely.
But yeah, it's kind of cool. I wonder if this in the future will have an impact of the mindset of the players. Now, where maybe on the let's talk about future. The next gen consoles come out, and if that's actually going to be a topic, an interesting thing to consider is like, well, if I get let's say Xbox is still open, and let's say this has progressed to the point where now you can play even more games, Rocket League, actually you can play Rocket League right now. With,
not crossplay. I mean PC, but not between.
Oh yeah,
consoles,
right. Well, let's say that gets open and all that.
Although probably now with Nintendo and Xbox, Nintendo has Oh, you just said the name Rocket League. They have Rocket League, so it's possible they probably will play.
That's what I'm saying. Let's say this opens up to enough to where it's a thing, and suddenly is a thing to consider. Like, hey, this platform is a little bit more open. It's almost it reminds me of or maybe this is not a direct comparison, but the Apple and Android, where Android is the open platform and Apple is the close up, very controlling. You only get this from us, kind of system. So I wonder if that could be considered a bullet point, at least in like your decision to get the next console.
Yeah.
Or if it even matters,
Yeah.
for you.
I mean, I don't know if it is going to matter in the end. I think we are.
I hope it does.
Like it or not, whether Sony wants to admit it or not, we are working our way towards that.
Yeah.
Sony's just simply holding on as long as they possibly can.
Yeah.
To lead this. Is it right? No. I think, especially in this situation, unfortunately, Microsoft and Nintendo are going to end up forcing their hand because this is not going to go away. This is going to continue to be a thing. And yes, like it or not, they're going to win the player mindset with this. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to become
suddenly they're going to look like the good guys.
The good guys, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sony, realistically, they're not being bad guys here. They're just, hey, no, we just want to keep our closed system. Hey, they're more than within their rights to do so.
Yeah. How come people are still calling them assholes though?
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I would call it the PR guy asshole because that was the dumbest fucking statement that they released. But I wouldn't call them asshole. In the end, you also have to remember there's many people involved with this, and what I'm saying, not every.
But just because it's a business decision doesn't mean it's a good business decision.
Oh no,
that's what I'm thinking.
No, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that it doesn't make them assholes either. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, it's not a very good business decision, and honestly, the way you've handled it has been sloppy at best at this point. Of explaining stuff, it's still a sound business decision, and in any other type of industry, it would make sense. It's like, yeah, of course not. Why would you want to give any profit away to anything else? What would be the benefit of that?
What is the benefit for Microsoft and Nintendo here then?
The benefit right now is the mindset, the mind share.
The good PR.
They are in the mind share.
That's the currency. They're good PR.
Let's be realistic right here. And this is not, please do not take this in any way that I'm insulting any other console, because I know everybody thinks I'm a fucking Sony fanboy. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But realistically, Microsoft has lost. There is no way for them to
recover on this.
However, they are setting up for the next one. Yeah. Like it or not, they've already mentioned the next console. They already have 5 studios that they've acquired, plus the studios they already have. They are making the all the right decisions now. They're putting all this out in front for everybody, and they join hands with Nintendo that everybody loves. There's no one that does not love Nintendo. Who is Nintendo not partnered with? Microsoft. Of all the companies that you would see together, those are the last 2 I've ever seen together, and they're there. They were thought, dude. Major Nelson walked on a stage on some whatever with a freaking Switch in hand.
Yeah,
I mean, hello. That's what I'm saying. These are monumental moments, and it's going to happen. And you know what I'm saying. But I can understand to a certain extent why they're holding off on it. But my point to bring it up before is because Nintendo is not hurting right now. They're actually doing extremely well.
Yeah.
But they're also coming off of a very bad console. You know what I'm saying? So they're looking to do anything they can to get that ball rolling again. Microsoft is doing everything they can to set up the next ball they're going to get rolling. And
the X ball. I heard it was called the X ball.
The X ball.
Yeah.
And Sony's just holding on to the lead of the ball that they currently have. I mean, everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and it's a great move that these two get. So the move literally out of that, you ask what would they benefit from this? Look what we're talking about. Look how amazed we are. There's part of me that goes now, man, I can't wait to see what Ninja Theory brings to Xbox, and who knows, that may actually get me to buy a console because they're starting to do the moves that make me want to be involved with it. Nintendo's already been doing moves that I want to be involved. I just don't have the money to fucking get involved with them right now. But the point is, they're in my mind all the time, and that's what they're doing. That's the purpose of it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's precisely my point when I was saying, like, is this a business decision? Because even though yes, you might be protecting your assets and your money and all that, but you're eroding your good reputation, that one that you built at the very beginning, where all the players united with you when you said, hey, $399 for the console and is more powerful and DDR5 or whatever, and we are for the game, for the players. And you're eroding that image right now with the we're not gonna come. I mean, hey,
we don't have.
There's a lot. You want to play with your friends?
There's 80 million
Chances
other.
are there, you know, there's like a
Go play with them,
gajillion. You know, play with other PlayStation.
Exactly.
You know, it's like hey, that's that's their other Sony exclusive. Is you exclusively get to play with Sony.
Exactly. You
Sony
only
fans.
play with us.
Yes.
You're welcome. And don't argue because you checked off, you know, the terms and conditions.
You accepted the terms and conditions. So you're ours now.
Exactly.
Yes.
We own you. This is more of a joke, so this may be a bad joke, but
this may be a bad joke. He's setting up with the greatest joke of all time.
I don't know. So is it possible?
What does the Xbox told
that?
Yes,
I know that the console is a to an extent. The console is a PC, right? I mean, they share all the PCs. They're basically PCs.
They're basically
right?
PCs right now. Yeah.
The network, not so much. Right now, they can't even fix the damn name changes. So maybe they just don't want anything to, you know what I mean? They don't want any wrenches in their network. It goes, oh man, we're gonna have another outage for another 2 months.
Oh my god.
So maybe Sony's like, no, we're already holding it together with bandages. We don't want anything touching it. Don't even breathe on it.
That's okay. They cannot be as bad as Nintendo are. Like they're
actually, you're right. Yeah, Nintendo can fucking do it with their stupid
Nintendo is like,
codes. Yeah.
You know what? We probably should talk to the Microsoft guys. I heard they have engineers there. They're probably
looking at it. Goes, okay, so who do we get here? Oh no, don't get Sony, man. You saw that PSN. That shit's falling apart.
I know a guy. Yeah. I know a guy that can fix our issues.
Yes. Philly Spencer. We need to call him. Philly Spencer.
Philly Spencer.
Oh man,
give him his friend code.
I know. Oh man. So anyway, that's I think also realistically to kind of just close out the topic, I think inevitably it's going to happen. How long Sony holds on to it, how long they fight against it. Right now they don't have to do anything. You know, they're literally shitting money. Why give any of those crumbs of shit to anyone? You know what I mean? Why? So it is what it is, and I hate to point to anybody to being that money grubbing thing. It's when a business looks like that, they're looking at numbers. You have people there that you hire literally to tell us what's the best business decision that we should do.
Honestly,
okay, we'll go with that.
Honestly, you know an analyst, which is not to say that they're the one and all, you know, that we should be listening to. But I mean, they have a job. They have said it. You know, they have said it themselves. It's like this benefits Sony in no way
to do it.
To do it. Now, I don't know if they're talking about financially. I'm thinking more of the reputation.
Correct.
Yeah, and all that.
But that said, I would also argue, and I'll throw back the argument. This is not the only game that wasn't doing this. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you know, yes, these guys decided to do it, but you could look at them and say, yeah, but they're in second and third place. So what do you care?
And let us remember, just like Chaos brought up, Final Fantasy 11 was not cross compatible, and they didn't care to fix that shit. You know, they never made it cross compatible with PS4.
I think they said that it was cross compatible earlier.
No, with PC.
PC. Oh,
yeah, with PC. Not with. They didn't want to make it compatible with with PlayStation.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. Yeah.
So yeah. Well, guys, that brings us to the end of our wonderful Rio episode 113. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please like, subscribe, share the podcast with everyone, and also go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. And this is Mr. Mad Dog, a.k.a. Arnaldo, signing off for this week. Mr. Santos.
No, it's Mr. Santos.
Mr. Santos.
I miss Shadow.
Oh, I miss Shadow too.
I miss Shadow. Come back. Come back, Shadow.
Pobre Shadow.
You're leaving us shadowless.
We miss you, Shadow. She texted us today, and I smiled. I was like,
oh,
she's out in Texas
if
enjoying herself.
If you're listening, if you're not listening, then what the hell?
But then we don't want you. No, I take that back. That's mean. All right, guys. So we'll see you next week.
I also want to add one last thing. every time that a company is not winning, quote unquote, a console war, they go for crossplay. Sony did it in the PS3 with Final Fantasy 14, and then now Xbox is pushing for it. And it's just a coincidence. This is just my thoughts here between us. You don't have to post this, but is it really only when they're losing that they think that crossplay will get them more fans? Are they just saying what we want to hear? Is Microsoft just saying what we want to hear? Oh, they've gone far, they've gone above and beyond doing it for Minecraft, but I mean, Minecraft holds the allure of like millions of people even now, but I don't know. Is that really such a big deal? It's a start. I'll give you that. But until I see more on more, I don't know, games that interest me, then I'll definitely agree that Microsoft is doing this, because they want to, not because they're losing a console war. All right, guys, later.